Alright, this is my fourth and final video for simplifying radicals. We've done the multiplication and we've done the division and just simplifying. What we want to do now is add in the addition and subtraction and then put together some multiplication, addition, subtraction all in the same problem. When we're adding and subtracting radicals, what we're going to do is add and subtract basically like terms. If the roots are the same, for example in this first problem right here, when the roots are the same, then we are allowed to combine the like terms, just like the 4 root 10 and the 9 root 10. And so I'll do 4 minus 9, which will give me 5 root 10. Negative 5 root 10, because the negative is bigger than the positive. And then the plus 13, plus root 13, will just be added on at the end. Now, if I can simplify that further, then I will. But neither of those, the 10 nor the 13, can be simplified further. And so therefore, this is the answer to question number 1 there. So let's look at number 2. Now you'll notice right off that neither of these are like terms, so I can't add them together right away. But the 48, hopefully you recognize that that can be simplified. I think we've done that one before. But the root of 48 goes to 2 and 24. 24 is 12 and 2. 12 is 4 and 3. 4 is 2 and 2. And so I've got a pair of 2's there and a pair of 2's there. And so root of 48 will simplify to 4 root 3. Now, some of you will have noticed right off the bat that 48 is the same thing as the root of 16 times 3. And if you notice that, then the same thing follows, that the root of 4 times the root of 3. Now I can add these together because now they do have like terms, and I get 9 root of 3. Notice that the roots do not add together. Okay, they stay the same. That's why only similar roots can be added together. Just like x's and y's and all those other things that we've done before. If they're the same, they can add together and it stays the same. Just like the 10's up here. They added together, it stayed root 10. Okay, let's go ahead and look at these other two examples over here where we're going to be combining a couple of ideas from before. Here we've got 3 root 5 times 4 minus 2 root 20. What we want to do here is distribute this to both of the terms inside the parentheses. So when I distribute the 3 root 5 to the 4 will multiply by the 3 and the root 5 will stay the same. You cannot multiply a root and a non-root. And so here I'm going to have 12 root 5. And then the 3 root 5 also gets distributed over here. The constants will multiply, the 3 and the negative 2, to give me minus 6. And then the roots will multiply, 5 times the root of 20, which is the root of 100. Okay, now from this point I should simplify the roots if I can. Root of 5 will not simplify. There's no perfect square in there. The root of 100 I know is 10. And so when I take the square root of 100, I'll have 10, which means I'll have 6 times 10, which is 60. And so my final answer here will be 10 root 5 minus 60, because the root of 100 was 10. Okay, and now I've got one more problem. And for this problem, it's this one right here. And I've got FOIL, right, because I have two binomials being multiplied. Okay, I can't combine these two because they're not like terms. I can't combine those two because they're not like terms. And so I'm going to FOIL. First, root 7 times root 7 will be the root of 49. Outside, so root of 7 times negative 3 root 2. So the constant stays the same. I'll multiply the roots. Okay, notice I can multiply roots that are different. I cannot add them if they're different. Okay, inside, so that'll be plus the root of 14. And then the last, so root of 2 times negative 3 root 2. So negative 3 root 4, right? Because the constant will stay the same. The roots will multiply. Now from here I want to simplify the roots that I can simplify and combine the like terms that are similar. So the root of 49 is 7. I'll take the negative 3 root 14 and the positive root 14, which will give me minus 2 root 14. And now the root of 4 is 2, so that'll be negative 3 times 2, which is negative 6. And now you'll see I've got a 7 and a minus 6, which is 1. So my final answer will be 1 minus 2 root 14. Now it's convention that we put the constant first and the number with the root last. Okay, so that's probably how we want to write this one. In this previous question, we probably actually want to rewrite this as negative 60 plus 10 root 5. Okay, just to be on the safe side. The reason we do that is because sometimes people kind of leave their roots hanging off the side here, and you can't tell whether the 60 is supposed to be underneath it or not. So to make sure we don't have that confusion, we just put the negative 60 in front, and that way we won't get confused with what's supposed to be under the root and what isn't. Okay, but now we've done a couple more problems, and now you should be ready to work to your heart's content with roots.